Hi everyone, I'm Nora Sophia. Thank you for watching the Nora Sophia Show. Today I'm talking all about transformation. If you've listened to me for any length of time, whether on social media or in some of my videos, you know that this is my passion. As I say, my mission is to intersect humanity, revealing the courage in each one of us so that we show up not only for ourselves, but for the world, to heal the broken fractures of a world that is desperately longing for each one of us to become. Why transformation? Well, because daily, literally, I ask myself 3 questions. Who am I? Why am I here? And do I love the life that I'm living? And if I can't answer those questions well, then I have some work to do. Then I have some things to create. Then I have some changes that I need to make. Too often, I think that we get lulled into a sort of a status quo for our life, a place of complacency, where we end up feeling so paralyzed that we don't move. And what ends up happening is we can get really comfortable. We get so comfy. Imagine you've got your warmest blanket, if it's cold. You've got a cup of hot tea. You've got your favorite PJs on. Who wants to move? Oh, and Netflix is playing in the background, right? It's constantly streaming those episodes of Grey's Anatomy, whatever it is. But we can end up getting sucked into a space where we don't want change. And we have to realize that there is always, almost always, one person, one challenge, one confrontation, one situation that becomes sort of the springboard for the rest of your life to be different. The caveat is if we will receive that invitation. So often, and I can tell you in my own life, there have been times where I see life saying, did you get that envelope? It was addressed to you. Did you open it? Because if you had opened it, you would have seen this event, and it's called your life. And I'm waiting for your RSVP, so to speak. Did you open it? Did you see it? Or did you ignore it because you don't want to see it? And that's where I would find myself going, oh, I don't want to see that. Not right now. Not right now. Was I happy about the life I was living? No. But I was dreading the steps that it was going to take to change the life that I was miserable in, which when you think about it, doesn't make sense. It is, as they say, the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different outcome. Forget about it, even and especially when it has to do with someone else. And you keep on wishing and hoping and believing when only the only control that you have, right, is what we know. It's over ourselves, over our response or reaction. We cannot change someone else. We cannot make someone else do something. We are not producers, and life is not a script where we get to write someone else's role and then say, oh, no, you weren't supposed to say that. You weren't supposed to do that. This is what you were supposed to do. This was the expectation. What happened? No, we can't. It's got to be for us. We are the only ones that can change our situation. We're the only ones that can be the creators of something different. But we have to be willing to let go of the warm fuzzy blanket and the cup of hot tea and the constant Grey's Anatomy. We have to be willing. Do you know who you are? Do you know why you're here? Do you love the life that you're living? People often ask me, how do you begin your day? How do you live with so much purpose? How are you constantly measuring it up to what you really want? It's all about willing to be centered, but you have to know what that center looks like. You have to know your must-haves and your can't-stands. You have to know, as my friend Cynthia Marshall says, what is your hell yes and what is your hell no? Otherwise, we live life still performing for other people and never show up for the role that we were always intended to play in life. And it isn't about playing it, it's about living it. It's about becoming it. And it's not about grabbing onto another costume or putting on another mask. It's about reaching down deep into the most deep well of our being and becoming who we already are. Beneath the web of performances and have-tos and should-haves and would-haves and people and the domestication that happens, it is about showing up for ourselves to be ourselves. Are you with me? Do you know who you are? Do you know why you're here? Do you love the life you're living? It's about meditation, right? It's about experiencing meditation in a way that you realize that everything is a meditation. It isn't about sitting on a mat cross-legged or, stacking stones so they're in complete Zen balance. You realize that if you're a first responder and you're addressing and triaging somebody, that is meditation. If I'm washing the dishes after dinner, that is meditation. So when people want to say, should I close my eyes? Should I leave them open? Am I supposed to be lying down? Am I supposed to be sitting up? I say, just learn to be, because being is meditation. Our life becomes a meditation. But it can't become a meditation if we're too busy trying to make sure that everyone in our life is pleased with us. We cannot be so afraid of being rejected or abandoned that we forget to love ourselves, that we forget to make room so that we are not rejecting ourselves or abandoning who we are in favor of being for someone else. Who are you? Why are you here? Do you love the life you are living? It's what I do with people. It's what I do for people. One of the first things when I meet with a client is ask those questions. And I can't tell you how shocking it is for me that so many people don't stop to ask themselves these questions or questions that are similar. We just get up and immediately begin crossing things off a list. We begin living from a to-do list that I promise you, there aren't very many things on there that you put there. There are things for other people. There are things that make you want to show up and do, not be. And there is a huge difference. One of the other things that I know for me that kept me from transitioning in transformation is that I wanted to make sure I was loved in the process. I wanted to make sure that it was not that uncomfortable. But how many of us have experienced growth because we're comfortable? I'll never forget deciding that it was time. After nearly 5 decades of life, it was time. I was uncomfortable enough now. I was done living for other people. I was done pretending that I was okay. I was done pretending that I'm happy and everything's great. How many of us show up, whether it's in church or in social circles or whatever, and people go, hey, how are you? I'm fine, everything's good. And we learn to hide because we think people don't really want to know. how I really am. Because if I told them how I really am, would they still be here? Do they really want to know? My question is, do you? Do you really want to know how you are? Who are you? Why are you here? Do you love the life you're living? My name is Nora Sophia. I'd love to help you understand who you are, why you're here. And if you don't love the life you're living, I'd love to help create and cultivate that for you. My website is norasophia.com, and you can email me, Nora, N-O-R-A, at norasophia.com. I look forward to bringing you more episodes of the Nora Sophia Show, more wisdom gleanings from my journey of transformation. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being a part of my world and for allowing me to be a part of yours. I look forward to unpacking so many more things, so many more situations in life with you. My hope is that you will say, me too. Me too. Thank you.